Fagon. So wherever you are, you welcome. We apologize for coming out a bit late. That was due to some technical tweaking we needed to get done here to present to you a great show today. It's been somewhat of a cloudy Tuesday here in Liberia. Some parts of the country it's been downpouring, it's been raining heavily. Other parts are just experiencing the cool breeze as well. So wherever you are, you're welcome to Reliable Info 360 across the Spoon Network. My name is Diamond Slanga. I'm producing. Let me now join the host of this program, Honorable Eugene Lamy Fagon. Good morning.
Good morning, Dharma Slanga, and good morning to the peace-loving people of the Republic of Liberia, irrespective of where you find yourselves, whether in the diaspora or in the country, one of the 15 political subdivisions of our country, from Lofa all the way through Bong to Nimba, down to Maryland, and then coming into Sino, Grand Cru, River G, and River Cess, and coming on to Bassa, and then Margibi into Montserrado, then going over to the western region of Cape Mount, Bomi, and Bapolu. If I left out any other county, forgive me for that, but it's always a good time for us to be together. It's a pleasure being with you today, and look forward to a nice show. We are late, and I want to apologize because I went somewhere to pick up a bunch of keys from a dealership, BMW, Mercedes, and some foreign cars. You cannot change the keys here. You have to go to the dealership. So Dharma, my car has been parked for almost 5 months. And because they had a backlog on the BMW's X5. But thankfully, at long last, I've gotten my BMW key. It took me months to get my Mercedes key, but I got it too. So from today,
You
I
got
promise
love for German machines, oh.
Huh?
You got love for German machines, eh?
Yeah, because the German machine, here is why I have love for the German machines, is because it's like jeans trousers. It daddy you whip it, you shake it ready to go. It daddy people admire it. Anything about it, it's just too strong. You drag your bottom
You
and
can do
bounce
nothing
it,
wrong.
can't tear. So for poor guys, we let to go take the second one hand one and just keep it. So I don't need to
Is
be
it what kind
running
of
around.
guys?
Huh?
Is that which guys?
For poor guys. Why you laugh? Poor man, you gotta know how
Just
to
go ahead.
manage things.
I just needed clarity on how you describe the guys. That's all. What
For
came
poor
before the
guys.
guys? You know?
You know you're not rich. Then you go buy some kind of Nissan Rogue or Nissan Murano. I'm not discrediting them. Then when the transmission shake, you pack it for good. Only the seat can get swallowed now. So for me, you gotta buy another car that is very good. Two different models that's very good too. All cars are good if you take care of them. You take care of the other cars that was sport. Time don't go, you gotta brief me, my man. You gotta tell me what's going on. How can you just go like that? I mean, and I wear my sports coat, you wear your fan shirt, we're ready to do something now, then you say you're running away. How you running away?
No, I'm not running away. Oh. Where I gotta go? All right, yeah.
But Damo, I got some kind of info. I wanted to do a podcast on the alert, but I want you to watch out for a couple of things. I've been following the information and the allegations that I've been getting. We'll save it for the second segment. There are two of them, actually. Many persons who follow us know that we reported, and it was confirmed yesterday by the vice chairman for finance and that of the youth wing chair of the NPP, that 40 million LD came in the hands of the vice president. That's that they say now, that won't confirm. What the day we don't know. But from our investigation, the man at the center of it, we got text messages from WhatsApp, was Andrew Peter. And Andrew Peter was supposed to be running in River Cess against Bill Twawe. And because he's a part of the NPP, pay for play, Andrew Peter, after raising the hopes of everyone as the main opposition candidate, walk away to the National Identification Registry to pave a way for the smooth election of Honorable Bill Twawe, former NBA boss. Another info we're getting, and you can see the gameplay of that. All those informations about Andrew Peters is factual. He's at the NRI right now. Bill Twaway is left to float. Another investigation I've been undergoing, the meeting took place at rehab, is that it is not confirmed yet, but I hope our partners can look into it. I will expand on it later in one of my podcasts shortly. But the president, I'm told, is expected to leave the country on the 28th for Israel. I repeat, the president, I'm told, is expected to leave the country on the 28th for Israel. It is in connection with some bogus arrangements in line with the Israeli government to fund a number of agriculture and fisheries projects. But the people at the helm of this whole deal, Mr. Henry Costa, his sister Tilia, and some unscrupulous business persons who have brokered this deal, is said to be the direct beneficiaries. And if the president signs the almost $40 million deal, then of course, Mr. Costa and his team will enter the race. These are all information we're getting. They have not been confirmed. By the 6th to the 8th, the ARP is supposed to have a convention and turn over the leadership of the party over to Mr. Costa. Mr. Costa would have then returned from Israel, where he's expected to get his cut, alongside those unscrupulous business people, all in the name of bringing agricultural projects to Liberia along with fisheries. We are keeping our eyes open on this story. Should the president leave for Israel on the 28th, then it will be confirmed. Should our confirmation state that Costa and the others are in Israel, our investigation will prove that indeed we are on top of our game. Stay tuned. We're following all of the information. Look forward to what we've just said to you about Israel, about the deal, about the president's departure, about the turnover ceremony to Costa from the ARP. We are also hearing that he's in direct talks with Tiawon Gonglo. So again, we are watching everything as they unfold. Meanwhile, we'll leave the investigation and then move over to what's going on with a $65 million bogus arrangements that's been made in the last hour. Imagine you're borrowing $65 million. We're almost in debt. Okay, debt increase of 2.3 billion, and this government in 6 years contributed 1.3 billion to the debt. You adding 65 million, how far is that? We'll go to 1.6 billion. What do we have to show for it? But look at the debts we have to pay back the debt. We'll start paying back the debt around 2029, 2034. Where will the guys who's borrowing the money be? After they squander it and they will leave it? Ma Eli left them with $800 million in 6 years. They increased it to 1.3 billion with nothing to show for it. No debate on the issue. Ellen had 800 million. She paved the way from Morovia. She paved the road straight to Nimba. She paved another road from Morovia straight to Buchanan. And these guys came with 1.3 billion, almost twice the amount. What road have they paved from one end to the other end? They cannot boast of the Yekepa road. It's not their road. Ganta to Yekepa was an arrangement with Asila Mito. That one is clear. What road have they paved with the 1.3 billion? They cannot brag because the deal on the Lofa road was already brokered by the Ellen administration. We are confused. But tell me what you're hearing about the $65 million and what happened. You are on the ground. I respect your opinion and your facts.
So based on what I know from facts about the $65 million agreement between the government of Liberia and the International Development Association, the agreement was previously sent to the Senate, where it was sent back to the lower house because our constitution clearly states that all financing instruments should originate from the lower house. Having been passed before, they can now be sent to the Senate for concurrence. So that was done on last week. And on the 21st, according to Representative Yeke Koluba, and other representatives that we've spoken with, on the 21, the the agreement was then passed by the House of Representatives just a day after it had been introduced to the House's floor. So Representative Koluba alarmed that many of the lawmakers who also signed, we have the entire House of Representatives up for re-election on the on the 10th of October. The entire House will be going for re-election, and we have 15 senators that will be going for re-election in the Senate. So um, according to his assertion, brown envelopes were dished out. This is no new allegation coming when it comes to the legislature. We hear a lot of these allegations that brown envelopes are dished out before work is done. But that is what I do know about the 65 million financing agreement between the government of Liberia and the International Development Association. It's now back at the Senate for concurrence, and we'll be waiting to hear what the Senate Committee on Finance is going to say, what Banking and Finance is going to say, when it's going to get to plenary for plenary to vote to rectify that particular agreement. But again, Representative Koluba is accusing his fellow lawmakers, especially representatives, of passing this in a 6G style fashion. That they didn't even get to scrutinize it. He's questioning, when was it scrutinized? How did they get to know the details? How did they get to check whether the I's are dotted and the T's were crossed and everything thereabout? Or it was passed based on his allegation that people were received, or people have benefited some of money that, again, he has to come out and show the proof of his allegation. So that's what I know about the 65 million financing agreement between the government of Liberia and the International Development Association. So that has been passed by the lower house.
Sorry, it is our understanding that it has gone to the Senate, and I was privileged to have been watching from the get-go. It went before the Senate Committee on Finance, Ways, Means, and Budget, headed by Maurice Setuma, who just recently pledged his support to the CDC, as seen in the photograph. What happened is that committee has 15 senators on it. And out of the 15 senators, we're told only 5 signed for it to go before plenary. The 5 individuals who signed are all members of, or for the most part, are members of the ruling party and the CDC. So Setuma signed, Viney Sherman signed, Joseph Jala from Lofa, is it? That's his name, Joseph, right? He signed.
Yeah.
Sir Joseph signed. Francis Pay from one of the counties signed. Those were the 5 names. Blebo Brown. Sorry.
Maryland.
Signed. Maryland. So if that be the case, the question then becomes...
So just make the correction. Senator Francis Pay, did he sign or not?
We don't know. He was one of those names, but I don't think he signed. They had something that was like distant was the terminology he used that brought the whole... But the actual people that signed, Viney Sherman, Senator Jala, Senator Sherman, Senator Maurice Setuma, Senator Sir Joseph. I'm talking about the people who signed, confirmed to have signed, and Blebo Brown. So then the issue was raised. How can 5 out of 15 sign? But there were other issues raised. And the question here is, we are in the dying minute, correct? We already have a situation where this government have borrowed up to $1.3 billion. And there is nothing tangible to show for it. With 3 months to go, why are they borrowing such huge sums of money? What will they do with it in the next 3 months? And who should be the one to pay for what they are borrowing now when we cannot see what they borrowed over the last 6 years? Should the president go to Israel, as we're hearing, to grapple upon another $40 million, that would take our debt to almost 1.5 billion. What will we have to show for it? My thing is
1.5
down.
or 2.5?
No, that 2.5, but yes, you're correct. But I'm saying for this government, 6 years, they would have borrowed 1.5 billion just in the last 6 years. So what would they have to show for it? You are going to take the people money from Israel, and you have 3 months in power. What would you do with it? You are trying to take the International Development Association $65 million. What are you planning to do with it in the next 6 months during this electioneering time? It is only upon the Senate to not even entertain such on the floor because of the way it even came from the lower house. We're talking about 65 million. So to spend at least 1.5 million or 70 million is no problem. But I'm sure in the lower house, like Yeke said, I will not say definitively, but I will not be surprised if that was the case. They're all looking for money to run their campaign. How can you receive an instrument? You don't know whether it's the same as Igbo math. You don't know whether it's the same as Eton. You don't even know where the people office at. You don't even know what the money will be used for. So now you're trying to borrow at the expense of the Liberian people. Diamond, I think it is only fair that we ask the Liberian people, should our government be allowed to borrow such an amount of money at this time in the lame duck session of this presidency, with the understanding that they have borrowed almost 1.3 billion already in the last 6 years? Nothing to show for it. Should our government be allowed to borrow this money, or that we should proceed until after elections to make our next determination on who and where we borrow from? Over to you, Diamond, for your thoughts.
Okay, so again, the executive is going to present financing instruments, whether grants, loans, or whatever financial instrument to the legislature for rectification, and then that is to approve that the government can go into business with that particular agreement, or they're giving their approval as the people's representatives. So again, this is where we find many Liberians having issues with the legislature, because if the executive then presents to you an agreement for ratification, and you are the people's representatives, you also have to look at what would be the terminology, the language, what's used in that particular agreement. You have to scrutinize. And while studying government, the legislature has got the leeway to bring in experts if they do not understand anything that is contained in an instrument. They can do that. They can bring in financial experts to say, okay, this is what we see, this is what we want, but we want to be educated more from an expert point of view, from an expert opinion, what is entailed in this, because the language can be different. So that's why many Liberians have the issue with the legislature, that yes, the executive is going to proffer, yes, the executive is going to send to you, but are you making a decision in the interest of the Liberian people? If so, what are the details enshrined in this particular agreement? We need to know, because at the end of the day, it's taxpayers' dollars that is going to repay these loans, unless it's a grant, unless it's a grant that we are not going to repay. But if it's a loan, we need to know. Even if it's a grant, we need to know what did Liberia fulfill, or what threshold did we meet? How come we've been granted this money? So we want to be sure from the legislative point of view. Let us know what is entailed even after they've signed. And there's one thing again we all need to be aware of in Liberia: this issue of public voting. When people go to vote, representatives and senators go to vote, we need to know how each senator or each representative voted.
Exactly.
Yes, we need to know how each voted, so that somebody cannot go back to his constituents and tell them, no, I didn't vote for that thing, but meanwhile, you voted. This whole issue of secret voting, now we have Facebook Live TV and all those things. like Spoon TV covers the legislature for most parts, but there are certain sessions they call executive that they do not want, the public eye on what they're doing. So we need to know, especially when it comes to these agreements, like financing agreements.
Do you
How did you
have
vote?
do you have Robert Haynes' number? Because he's the director of communications.
Yeah, I can reach out to Robert. He's a good friend of mine, media colleague
You
of
guys
mine.
came a long way. You
Very
can't
long
even
way.
reach
So I can
out.
I can reach out to Robert, but that was just my point I was trying to make. The issue of the timing. The government is still the government of Liberia until they turn over power. That is, if they're not re-elected, or until they are re-elected, they still remain the government of Liberia, and they can conduct the Liberian people's business as until their time expires. Yeah. So the timing again, as we did with the issue of those who were nominated at the LACC and other nominations the president made, that the Senate, especially for tenured position, that the Senate refused, declined those nominations. If you want to look at the timing, somebody will tell you the president still has got the mandate of the Liberian people, and he can make decisions as until when constitutionally he's no longer president. That is where the legislature comes in again, Mr. Fagon, because the president is doing his bit. The executive is doing their bit. They're doing their part of what their responsibilities are.
Someone made a comment in session today, and I heard it with my own ears when they said, I did not know that numbers in the Senate was so important until today. Meaning they have come across as the majority now in the Senate, and they are ready to step on the issues. But in Article 34I, it is clear that all financial instruments should originate in the lower house. Clearly stated. In fact, let me quote, and other financial bills shall originate in the House of Representatives. In the case of this, it's like the government went and threw it in the House, and the House just within a day pushed it to the Senate. We don't know who all voted for this. Diamond, can you place a call to Robert Haynes? And if he answers, tell him that you are live, and reliable sources, reliable info 360 would like to know if they can obtain a copy. Or you can do it just under the table to see if we can obtain a copy of those who did this to our country. 65 million, and we don't know anything, you just won the money. And all 73 of you are out for re-election. And you know, Dama, every day I come here, the only person will know will be me. I would just pick a lawmaker out of the 73 and just ask the question, should they go back, and let the Liberian people decide? That way, nobody will know who coming. When it passes, the Liberian people will decide whether you must go back in that building or not. And you see, I am taking it back, and I'm seriously confused and conflicted over the idea that the question was asked today, what will these monies be used for? Some of the things they claim the money will be used for is whacked. You go back to the Senate thing and cut. I was too busy, but I heard them. Fisheries, security during these elections, to promote transparency. Says here you were there. You did not promote transparency. That 3 months you want 65 million to promote transparency. I don't get it. But again, the Liberian people are the ones who own this station, and they always like to have their say. The question I would like for us to advance down, should we allow the Liberian government, with 3 months to go, should we allow the government to add 65 million to our $1.3 million debt? I think that is a fair question to ask. Unless you want to rephrase the question, Damo, I respect your opinion. But I think it is fair. With 3 months to go to election, should the government be allowed to borrow additional $65 million to add to our almost 1.3, our 2.3 billion debt? I think it's a fair question to ask. And then we will get
Yeah. So
at least an appreciation of the people's opinion with regards to what's happening before we move on. Your thoughts, or if you have any other.
yeah, I do concur. I was just as I've been doing since this loan or this financing agreement was proffered. I've been reading about the International Development Association, you know, to know because we all saw what happened with the issue of Eton and Ibomaf. So we all
Yes,
want to know where these companies or these organizations are, what are their track records and all that. So the IDA is a member of the World Bank, you know,
yep,
they give out loans and grants to the world's poorest countries
yep.
and all of that. So I just needed to get inside information because our people also want to know what organization is this. They don't want to be caught by surprise like the way we all were concerning this whole Eton and Ibomaf, financing agreements that were proffered and made so much, public spectacle of. So the idea is actually legit, it's a World Bank group. But again, as you said, what are those areas that the monies will be used for. And if it cannot be halted until we have a transition of power or until the government is re-elected and can proceed with this agreement, is there a time capsule? Is there a time span on as to when this money can be released to the government? And if we don't meet this time, then the agreement will be null or void or it will be cancelled. Those are key questions we need to know, and we can only know the answers to those questions once we get the entire document. It's given to us for us to dissect, for us to read, for us to get a better understanding of, to see why is there so much emphasis being placed on signing this agreement, especially at the 19th hour. So we'll go to the phone lines and let Liberians have their say. But again, Liberians should have their say through their legislators because they are their direct representatives. 077771075 The question is, yes, the IDA is a legitimate entity. As I said, it's a member of the World Bank Group. It was formed in 1960. Yes. So 077771075 055101075. Those are the numbers to call at this time. Should the government be entering financial and financing agreements with partners, if not grants, but loans that we will be repaying, even grants, are grants included, or we just limiting it to this particular
The
agreement
entire
with
65 million.
the 65 million. All
Yes.
right. 077771075 055101075. And what has been confirmed? Yes, the lower house, the House of Representatives, did pass that particular bill, that financing agreement. Hello.
Hello, it is Spoon.
There's a Spoon, sir. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, my brother?
Okay, how are you?
This is a good thing that you guys are coming up with, but a little bit confused as to why the government is in rush, or maybe I would say, why didn't they do this in long time? Because don't get me wrong, the person has the constitutional right, even the last hour that he's in power for, to appoint and to whatever. But if they don't get serious authentic reason as to what they want to get the loan for or whatever, yeah, I think the upper house to just trash it up, because our Yeke representative Yeke saying sometime yesterday that loan will be paid in close to 50 some more years, 2070 something. That's a good thing. But why are you adding up debt for the incoming government, or even if you retain in power? Why I say it's a good thing when it is for a good purpose that will benefit the bulk majority of the Liberian people. But where few handful of people are speculation going around that they wanted money to sponsor their campaign, because bulk of them from the lower house will be going.
All of them will be
Yes,
going for re-election.
Okay, therefore it's obvious that we know that the president has a right. Constitutionally, you cannot take it from him. But what impact will it have for us? Like, with the taxpayer, the people that are now up there, like spending like them, whatever. So that's a
Okay.
good thing. So I mean,
So should the government
to be.
sign, yes or no? Should it be passed? That's the key question. Yes or no?
For me, I don't think it is of any logic. No,
Okay.
they shouldn't. The
All right, sir.
upper should trash it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you there for your input. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
How are you? Kindly reduce the volume of your radio set, please.
Yeah, I left from side. I'm Kennedy Bismarck calling from Yellow Bay campus.
Go ahead, please.
For me, I say no
Why?
because it's timing.
It's not
It's
timely.
3 more months. Yeah, 3 more months to election. They want to use this money for their campaign. It's timing. Integrity has died since President Wiak took office. So 3 more months for us to bury integrity. So please, no.
Okay. Thank you. No from you. Let's take this person. Hello. Whoa. Please, when you call, just reduce the volume of your radio set. We'll hear you loud and clear. If you want to hear yourself, you can still reduce the volume of the radio and you definitely hear yourself. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Steve London. I call from Oro, to be specific, around the American School.
You're welcome, Steve.
First of all, I want to appreciate the state FM. They have been doing well. We monitor them through all, and I think they are more reliable. And secondly, what you're discussing on is I want to say that it's not timely. You have 3 more months to get an election, and somebody coming up the thing that they should get the 5 million or whatever. Yeah, they want to use this money for campaign. So I pray that legislators should reject it.
Okay, so you're praying at the Senate because the House of Representatives, they've done their bit already. They've passed that particular bill. So it's now with the Senate for ratification, for the Senate to concurrence. I should say. So you're saying the Senate should reject it?
So they should reject it. It's not coming.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's take this person here. Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Evening to you. Let's hear you out, please.
Yeah, my name is Mo Bobo, calling from Bon County, Lower Bon County, Totota.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, the thing that people saying, how people will be going for election, then you go in credit $65 million. Eh? What the purpose of this $65 million would be used for? Eh? That any type of road project that they are seeing because of the road project, we're taking the $65 million to do the road. See, you know, they for it, they credit, and let me make it for our people to understand, they credit business until we go in the election, whosoever that will win, then they can come by now. If they want to say that they are credit, then they take it, our children and our great-great-grandchildren will be paying for it. Thank you.
Thank you. So he's not against the money being used for the country, but he's against the timing as of it being this time. Let's take this person here. Hello? Hello? Okay, that person is not ready. Good evening to you.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live. Go ahead.
Yeah. And by the way, dear calling from Upper.
You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
That's good. But the discussion, I don't think that the government should borrow money at this time now because, I mean, who knows that they will go or they will not go? So the question remains is how have you take the money and use it for your own personal something, then who pays for the money? It means.
Okay, thank you. That was quick, straight to the point. Hello? Hello? Yeah, you live. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I think this afternoon. Let me say for me, your answer or my answer to that would be a very big no. Because we are talking about people who are now financially disciplined. And all they concerned about is what they will have for themselves and not thinking about the Liberian people. So such people should not be given such opportunity that we are doing, we keep working for them. No one can work for God yet. So let me just make it clear. It would make no sense that thing is strong or that hot through the window, then it's jumping on the ring, then it gets soaked and be damaged. It makes no sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for expressing your opinion. The question is, with the $65 million financing agreement between the government of Liberia and the International Development Association, which is a legitimate World Bank partner, it's a World Bank association as well. They're under the World Bank group. They're responsible for aiding and assisting in poverty reduction in underdeveloped or developing country, the world poorest countries as well, Liberia included. So now that 65 million financing agreement has been passed by the lower house after it was sent back as per the constitution. That financial agreements should originate from the lower house, the House of Representatives, on the 21st of this month. After one day, probably they did some extensive session where they scrutinized everything and decided to pass it, but it was passed and is now left at the Senate's will now to concur. If they do vote and concur, meaning that agreement will be rectified. So the question is, should the Senate concur with the lower house in passing and rectifying this particular financing agreement? That's the question there. Hello?
Hello, Damo.
Yes, sir. You live. Go ahead, please.
Let me say hello to Eugene Fagon. This is Jason Kwekwa, and I'm phoning from the Row of Yahweh. I'm calling on those senators, precisely those that are in the interest of this country, who have decided to stand up for the sake of rescuing the country, to not approve any such agreement in terms of the $65 million borrowing. Wow. We cannot in the first place establish the over $1.2 billion that Mr. Weir have borrowed. He and his government have borrowed. Within 6 years, we cannot match tangible in terms of that over $1.2 billion. Can Senate do that? Absolutely not. In fact, the minister is on record for saying that Senator overpower minister of ministry and agency director have not been making report. This is why we find it so difficult that less than 6 years time, Mr. Weir have borrowed over $1.2 billion and we cannot see physically the tangible. So why are we giving them another opportunity for the fact that we just have very less than 4 months to go to election? This is absolutely wrong. And we are calling on those senators who have decided to rescue the country to stay with CMB. Let them keep that thing in the dustbin.
Okay.
It should not surface anywhere. No, even on their death, it should not surface. Whether in the net or whether the dreaming, it should not surface. This is absolutely wrong. It is evil. No person to 12 years to borrow $800 million, 12 years. You taking less than 6 years to borrow over $1.2 billion? So sad, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for expressing your view as well. 0777 771075 0555 101075. Those are the numbers to call. Hello. Hello. Okay, that person is not ready. We have to leave you there. Hello.
Yeah, this is Spoon FM.
This is Spoon FM. Go ahead, please, if you want to participate on Reliable Info 360.
I love your station, but then we should get it no more. I check it. I want to make sure. On the issue why you discussing, I not listen to it, and I want to now speak in English. But I want to on Sunday in it, and make I want to make sure to save the number.
All right, not the number there, man. Just save it for Sunday, yeah.
Okay, like yourself, I can create a song.
All right. Thank you. So that's the WhatsApp number for our viewers and audience in the diaspora and even in Liberia, those who do not have the calling minutes but have the data to call in Liberia but want to participate. That is the WhatsApp number. Those in the diaspora can also use that number to call as well and participate. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
Let's hear you out.
yeah, I'm Amos Kwas in Fayetteville.
Go ahead, Amos.
Yeah, fellow, we can be into the monster close to the election, then government coming in to borrow money from the World Bank. It will not be looking fair because number one, our money, what is the value of towards the Liberians? Because number one, our money, the government is using it on their own to run their campaign, to share money ourselves. The ruling party is trying to use our money to share on ourselves. Because from the observation, what we're looking at is that they are very broke. They are broke to run their campaign, brother. The city papers, they just receive a credit paper, they won't pay ballot papers and things to bring in voting to run their campaign. So, to the upper house, they shouldn't agree to sign a paper. If upper house sign a paper, we the citizens, we will protest. There will be no election in the country. We will postpone the election.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's take this person here as well. 0777-771075, 0555-101075. The WhatsApp number to call is on the screen, so you can call that WhatsApp number to participate, like this person here is doing. So let's get this person on the line. Hello. Hello. Go ahead, please.
I'm so happy that you're able to be another platform that will be able to speak our mind through it. Thank you so much. I've been following for a long period of time. I keep following you. Everywhere you go, I will keep following you. I admire you. I admire your output. I admire the disco. Everything that you bring to the Liberian people, I admire it. Thank you so much. Now to the issue. That identical agreement that they carry to the Senate, let it be cash outside. No need for accurate. There's why not they're trash because there's no need for that. The one can bring the credit I here for a reason. Talk to all your senators, all your UPC, try to outside.
Go ahead, Dama. Dama is frozen. We're having some internet problems.
All right, so we take people here. We'll take your two on the local line. Let's hear from our brothers and sisters in the diaspora as well to weigh in their own opinion. Hello. Hello. Don't mind the feedback. Just speak to me in real time.
Hello, is this Spoon?
This is Spoon. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is Alfonso Decla and I call from the US. And I listened to both of the callers. And I think most of them actually they are just discussing without even going through their particular documents, the budget. Now people just looking at it from the aspect of campaign. But why if you read their particular budget and their other segment that will benefit the Liberian people? Now I'm here confused, wondering if Eugene Falcon was still in the CDC government, why would have been a position on that particular budget to be passed by the Senate? So you see, that is the kind of deception. I don't have problem with this kind of conversation, but when people who are dishonest and very deceptive, when they come over radio to prove that they are very prudent and they can discuss issues to enlighten the Liberian people, that is misleading. Most of the budget that the government have been passing, they have benefited the Liberian people. We look at the roads from ELW Junction to Red Light. We look at the Ralphie Highway. We look at the Purple Housing Units. You look at the University of Liberia tuition-free program. You look at the wax fee payment. You think where the money coming from? From their personal pocket? But you know, we don't blame some of these discussion because people who are very prudent and have the integrity that's supposed to be discussing this issue, they are not discussing it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. You've made your point. I allowed you to make your point. And
let me Damon, this is our show. People will say you don't get vexed. I'm not vexed. But the caller that just you can support President we admire that. But you are very dishonest and for the most part ignorant. Ignorant in the context of your lacking knowledge. The people that are in the Senate, The actual senators today say they didn't see what in the document. They are requesting the documents. The people in the lower house, they keep on crying. They did not see the document. It passed, as Diamond can call it, 6G. You sitting in the diaspora and you ignorantly insulting Liberian people, telling them they should look in the document to see what inside first. If the people who discuss the document don't have a copy, House of Representatives, Senate, that an ignorant person like you in the diaspora will have a copy, which means I use the word ignorant because you are lacking knowledge. That's the definition of it. That you got a copy, and you're talking about roads that Eline, ERWA road and CDC project. The University of Liberia, you don't see what it looks like? Don't you dare insult Liberian people for their opinion, telling them if they could see what in the document. Have you seen what inside? Have you seen the document? The senators have not seen it. The House of Representatives have not seen it. That you eating all burger from the freezer, we see it.
1 minute, Mr. Fagon. We have another caller on the line. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Andrew Bowman. I'm calling from North Dakota, supporting Tier 1 Safe Congo in the election 2023.
Go ahead.
I think it is being known, don't get joy. We are in money. The garden are planning to take their essay route. They want to go and buy their houses abroad so that our people can suffer paying this money. So nobody will get joy. We have $5. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for making your point known. Let's go back to the WhatsApp line. My people, I know we'll get to you on the local lines as well. Let's take this person. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I'm Gutierrez George. Calling from Minnesota. Well, I just first of all want to tell Fagon, the professor, thank you for the show. Thank you for opening the eyes needs of the Liberian population. And I pray that we all will have to support him to this, for this great show, especially breaking out some ills in the society, especially opening our eyes to hear those ills, those things that have been going wrong by this CDC-led government being headed by George Openweir. I can give him the assurance. He coming back. I'll make sure that I support him to the last. So make sure that all of those things I was hearing by the people he brought up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tell them, man, our cash app, our Zelle, and our mobile money is available on the screen.
The man is watching the movie. Let me say the movie, the program. Yeah, the man is watching the program, and he's definitely going to do the needful. So let's go back to the local lines and take calls from our people for at least 5 minutes, and then we can move on to part 2 of the show. Let's take this person here. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm Bram Starwest calling from Mantari.
Go ahead.
You see, it is unfortunate. 4 months or 3 more or 4 months to election, the government will be taking a good credit 65,000.
65 million.
And we, the Liberians, we are watching keenly, especially for the House of Representatives that are going for election. The whole House going for election. What they're going to do with the money in 3 or 4 months' time? There is a strategy they are using to either use the money to go campaign. But we are now full. Now, to the senators, we want to warn the 15 senators that are going for election will be very key on their vote. Anybody vote that low will go against you. And look, let me tell you, I want Falcon to even digest this. In 5 years, the president just recognized that people were underpaying. Do you know that alone has indebted the government? Because if somebody was making $45, that's supposed to be making $150, and you never knew until 5 years. So what happened to the back one? It must be given retroactively, or it must be paid back completely. That is a case right there. He already made the government to fall in debt. And the law there, the minimum wage bill is there, 150. Then, under your administration, people receiving $45. Are you killing me? We have to do the calculation for all those that were under that minimum wage bill. The money must be must be calculated and be given to them.
Okay.
Because we will not even agree.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm Joseph London from Calcutta.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, actually, I'm the second school, but you see the go doing now. To election, then the president look at every morning, so our children can suffer. I don't agree to it because they won't get our money, divide our money, and say it's not going to go straight down. That's not even in our interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you there from Kakata, Margibi County. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Go ahead, please. You live.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to Mr. Facon, and let me say good evening to your many listeners. This is Bobby Abu Menska. I joined a discussion this year from the Sister S.P. Kuporo. But let me appreciate Honorable Yeke for standing for the Liberian people. Listen, even though we have a serious problem with the government know that is finishing and the Liberian people are not willing to re-elect the incompetent regime. When you look at this government, we have 105 more days to go for elections. For president, we have to beat any power over to the rescue one and the rescue two. So, what the essence that the government will go to a loan worth of $67 million?
65.
65 million. What's the government want to do with the 65 million? Are they asking the Liberian people if they show that they want to use the money in the interest of the Liberian people? Or many of them, because they see that they will not be re-elected, they want to use the money as a payback or as a benefit, because that's the reason they're taking the money. There is no serious country on planet Earth where people will never see power of going to crucial elections and at the same time putting the country into debt. That's the reason why I would say, but those are on the other side, opposite side, who are blind loyalty, they will not understand the form and manner in how we love this country. They will always praise the government. When we speak, they say they're taking the money to pay road, they're taking the money for election, for security. Where? We know the security. The security that are out there, they are not sufficient. No, President, we are you and your gangsters who are leading this country. We need to be very serious. We don't want the country to go back into huge debt.
Thank you
ever so much, and Aaron.
Thank you, Diamond. All right, 077771075 055101075. Should the Senate concur with the lower house, that's the House of Representatives, and rectify the $65 million financing agreement between the government of Liberia and the International Development Association? That is the question. Fact is, it has been passed by the lower house as revealed by Representative Yeke Koluba. Another fact is, until the president, turns over power, that is, if he's now re-elected, he still operates with all of his constitutional powers, as well as his executive going into agreements with other countries and other agencies and organizations around the world in the interest of the Liberian people. Is still within his power to do so. It's still within the power of the legislators to concur, rectify, and pass, or to say no, we don't agree, this is untimely, especially looking at the time that we have leading up to election. Can this wait for after elections? And if your government is re-elected, the 55th legislature can rectify this as well. That is the question. Should the senators rectify or concur with the House of Representatives in passing this particular agreement? 077771075 05551101075. Thank you, Mr. Leroy Johnson. All right, so it's ratified. Okay, so he gave me the right pronunciation. I appreciate that as well. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello.
You live? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is Station Williams. I'm calling from the SPD.
Go ahead.
I don't want to comment on
Sir, your line is terrible. Your line is terrible. I'm not really getting anything you're saying.
You getting me? Are you getting me?
Yeah, you can go ahead now, please.
Yeah, I say concerning that money business, I know the want to borrow that money just to on the campaign. So that is but I want to talk to Mr. Fagon, and that is I beg you, Mr. Fagon, if you're listening to me, please, when it comes to this phone call, please don't elevate Congo people then, because they wouldn't using you to elevate Congo discussion. I believe that what is doing, because they said that nobody gets out of Congo. So they only wanting to provoke you. So when you talk about Congo, so at least you can have some time to discuss Congo. So please don't listen to them because.
Okay, so his line is terrible, but I'm sure you got his second point there. You know, saying you shouldn't engage in conversation with Councillor Lamin Bagor and Mr. Gibson Jerry. So when they're speaking or saying
thank
anything,
God you my witness. You heard it tonight when I'm talking. I will say y'all asked I'm on the pussy. I'm not even
but
entertaining.
I wouldn't be on the show. So then can
No,
you ask
but
me?
at least later on they can find out from you. Oh, time on that you. They posted a memo not talk to all. We're not going nowhere.
There's even a color speech for them.
I'm a color speech from y'all because y'all using me so Congo League can be good smart. So y'all just talk about yourself, you know. But let's go back to the phone lines again. People calling on the WhatsApp or not?
Yeah, people calling on the WhatsApp number, but we're
Before you
allotting
go,
time
let me just
to the local
give
lines and then go back to the WhatsApp number.
two breaking news that we're following. One has to do with the death of the first female agriculture minister, and that's Florence Chinowit. She passed away. She was the first female agriculture minister. We will discuss her later on in depth. But also the drug law, we are hearing that the Senate has concurred. It has gone to the desk of the president, the House of Representatives, sorry, and they're now sending it over to the desk of the president. With his government linked to a lot of drug activities, I'm wondering whether he will really expedite the signing of that. You can continue. I just wanted to bring in the two.
Okay, so let's go to the WhatsApp line and take this person here. Yeah, my people, you have to be patient a bit as we go into the phone lines, especially the WhatsApp line. Hello? Hello? Okay, lost that person. Hello to you on the WhatsApp line. Please go ahead, sir. Or madam, please go ahead. All right, so hello? Okay, so we lost that person. Yeah. And people, when using the number for the WhatsApp line, then you don't be calling locally. You just follow the station numbers and your call. Then we can do that. But if you're calling locally on the WhatsApp number, the call is gonna get disconnected. Hello? Yeah.
Hello.
You live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is Prince S man calling from Northern Cyprus to be specific when email the North Valley.
Go ahead.
I've followed you people for a long time, and hello to my big brother Fagon. I forgetting my big brother Fagon. To Gonglo guys, I always told just stated it because I just wanted to elaborate on it. Don't even give the credence to talk about Gonglo because they want for you to talk about Gonglo on the spoon talk to make him popular on the spoon talk. Just with disregard them. And let me go back to the topic pertaining to the loan issue. We don't need a loan right now because if we take this loan, those guys are taking this loan to be able to run their campaign. Right now, they don't have money. They're looking for money to be able to run their campaign. Based on that, that's the reason they are trying to find out that particular thing. Back to the just law. The judge law, I think, I'll be convinced that the judge will pass that judge law because he also know that people talking about him, he take just him. It's not just free, and we know that it's true, it's not just free.
No, you don't have proof. You don't have any proof to that? Let's be respectful of the office of the president. We cannot, make such allegations as well. So just stick to the point whether or not you think the Senate should concur with the lower house to ratify the 65 million agreement. With that comment concerning the president, we will not entertain such, sir. Let me be honest with you.
I concur on that, brother. So, okay, bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your understanding. We can disagree. We can be detractors. We are not supposed to be supporters of one person. We don't run a one-party system. But again, you cannot make wild-fetched allegations, especially there are certain offices that should be respected. We should maintain that as well. Yeah. So we'll not entertain that. Yeah. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, is this Spoon FM?
Yeah, you live on Reliable Info 360, sir. This is Spoon FM.
Okay, my name is Jonathan Banks, and I'm calling you from Minnesota, USA. In regards to the 65 million USD in question, Damo, for my own input, I will actually urge the House of Senate to reject that identical agreement, because I think that it is not in the interest of the Liberian people. For the past 5 years, this government has borrowed 1.2 billion. We cannot see any tangibles. We cannot see anything. They actually had behind those feeder rows to steal from the Liberian people. For example, the Unity Party-led government, they paved the road from Buchanan, from Monrovia to Grand Bassa. They also paved another road from Monrovia straight to Ganta. These are stretches that when you see, at least you can point to something to say, yes, government has done something. But if you look at the CDC-led government, they always boast of rules. Where is the stretch? Look at the Southeast. We have not seen anything. And most of the rules, projects that they're even implementing are projects that were initiated by the Unity Party-led government. So they should stop fooling people around here and stealing from the Liberian people. 3 months to election, you want to borrow 65 million? What did you do with the 1.2 billion that you borrowed within the last 5 years? Liberian people need to stand up at this time. The House of Representatives.
There, Mr. Fagon.
Yeah,
Still
I
do
think
continue with the call. Enough calls on this particular matter for now. We can go
I
back to the
think we
second.
lost him there. And I think the Liberian people have spoken their mind on the subject matter, that indeed it will be useless to borrow 65 million with 3 months to go to elections that is going to be payable by our unborn children over the next 50 years. I think it is unfair myself. I think the Senate should not even entertain the discussion. I honestly do. Do not even discuss it. It's useless. Don't waste our taxpayers' money, so to speak. Another issue here is we are going to elections. And we are seeing people spewing out violent or inciting people, especially those from the CDC. The language is violent. The perpetrator are, for the most part, violent people. They have a track record of doing so. We're not hearing the outcry from the government or our international partners. But if we do not flag it, then of course, you and I know, they have threatened the justice minister. They've threatened the transport minister. They've threatened our network. They issued a statement quite recently. I'm drawing your attention to it because the people who issued the statement were the same people who beat Walter Sisulu almost to death. We saw them invade the students' peaceful protests. We saw Akara's grave. Those are the students those are the COP members that were charged. I want Ben Belief Topa to know that you live in Logan Town. You are not above the law. And if this government does not prosecute you, remember you have been charged. Your case is still before the court. Even if you travel, we'll extradite you. Your extradition will await you. To continue to be violent and to threaten people Look at your charge sheet. Look at you guys. So again, to continue to do that, we are saying to you, your threats are not going unnoticed. And as a matter of fact, your case is before the court. If you for 1 second think that the brutal manhandling of the university students during their peaceful protests and they almost attempt to murder Walter Sisulu, I think you have reached a point where we are ready to serve you notice that indeed you will not go unpunished. We want your president. Do you have the video ready, Diamond?
Yeah.
If you do, we want the president of Liberia to speak directly to the CDC, sorry. Maybe they have forgotten that they committed these very bad crimes. Maybe they need to be reminded that they are still in court. And the next 5 or 6 months from now, a new governor will be in power. Maybe they need to be reminded that we're soon getting ready to pursue them in court and to punish them for their crimes. I will ask that you bring forth the video so the Liberian people can watch and listen to the president. We'll give credit to Madeline
Fellow
Watt.
Liberians, the main purpose of my address today is to denounce in the strongest terms the violence which was perpetrated by some youth in the early hours of July 26, when Liberians at home and abroad were just preparing to celebrate such an important day for the country. Violence is totally unacceptable. I have stressed in all my public engagements the need to maintain the hard-earned peace that we now enjoy. This is a cause for which I have learned personal sacrifice as an ambassador of peace. So, if you claim to love me or follow my political ideology, you cannot do so with violence. Anyone or group that has my image on a banner in support of me and my government has to be peaceful, respectful, and tolerant. You cannot support a man of peace by being violent. I also want to stress, as the founding father of the Congress for Democratic Change, now the Coalition for Democratic Change, that we do not have any CDC cop within our organization. When you come to join us, you become a CDC partisan of peace, democracy, and development. Therefore, I have mandated the Ministry of Justice and the entire national security apparatus to immediately arrest all those involved in the violent incident on July 26, 2022, and ensure that they face the full weight of the law. I have also instructed the Minister of Health to ensure that all those who sustain injuries during the violent attack be given the best medical treatment at the expense of the government. Liberia remains a country of laws. Despite our political differences, we are one nation, one people, united under God's command. God bless Liberia, and thank you.
All right. Diamond, you watched it yourself. It was the president of the Republic of Liberia who called on the justice minister to arrest all of those people, charge them, and send them to court. He pleaded for justice for Sisulu, and the health minister was ordered to take care of them. Here is it today. The same group now is threatening to violently move on a media outline. There's been no response from the PUL. There's been no response from, what's their name? Some journalist group, CJ, CMJ or CJ something. We've not heard anything. But the great many supporters of the Spoon Network, as you see on your screen, LMP arrests 7 persons in connection with July 26 violence. And they charged them. According to this on your screen, those arrested were Kendra S. Pillina, Joshua Carr, Poka Rabos, Ben Belief Topa, Fore Masekwe, Aaron Chair, and Abdul Rahman Barry. Those names that I'm calling, those people were arrested, those people were charged, those people were sent to court. He called for speedy justice, and he asked that they face the full weight of the law. Today, they are threatening ministers, threatening media outlets, but I have come as a presenter on the Spoon Network. I speak for myself that we are by no means, those of us that present, this has nothing to do with Spoon Network, but we, the supporters, those of us who use this network, are not chocolate. We are not candies, we cannot be sucked. We're not sugar, we will not melt in your ring. Take note, govern yourselves. The university students may not have been able to handle you because you're shielded and you're under the umbrella of a very violent dictatorship. Why do I say so? What Akara's Gray did on the University of Liberia campus, what you guys did July 26, were all orchestrated by you and within your party, the CDC. Let me remind you that the government that is supposed to be the referee or supposed to maintain the peace have facilitated indirectly your actions. By now, if you were behind bars, paying for the crime you have committed, you will not be outside threatening people. If you take my advice as an experienced politician and one whose opinions matters, I will help you by saying, ask them to give you a trial quickly and a sentence. You do not want to go on the trial in a new administration. I don't care who it is. You will face the full extent and weight of the law. Your sentence will be more than you will ever bargain for, so as to serve as a deterrent to people in political parties who believe that they can use their proximity to power to strangulate our democratic principles or to somehow use the influence of powerful people to heap havoc upon our peaceful citizens and our children. Make no mistake, the statute will not expire 4 months from now for Akara's grave. That incident will be investigated by the Crime Services Division under a new leadership. Make no mistake. Make no mistake that the actions of July 26 will be reinvestigated and you will pay for your crimes. Be not deceived. It is not the fact that God is not mocked, but the law has long arms, and we will catch you wherever you are, and you will pay for the crimes that you have committed. Those are you who believe that because there is a CDC government today, that you can do whatever you want, how you want, where you want. It was the CDC government that decided that they will protect Madam Salif. The next government will not protect you. I hope you take my commentary serious, because even if they don't, we have the manpower to stop you, and you really don't want a citizen's action against your group because you don't have one. Having said that, Diamond, I think we've done well today. And I think we need to somehow get the views of our people, at least for 5 minutes, on the threat made to our station by the Council of Patriots from the CDC. I'd like your opinion first before we move on to the phone lines, please.
So, during my coverage of the bill hearing, the motion to deny or grant bail to the former Chief Justice and 3 others, when Magistrate Bako was reading the hearing on behalf of the 3 magistrates, he said something. And what he said was, the court cannot do for you what you cannot do for yourself. And that legal maxim has stuck in my mind. And today I'm going to say that out again. All crimes are committed against the state. Even if perpetrated or committed against individuals, it is the state that persecutes crimes. It is the state, the all-powerful state, that has got all of the resources to take a trial to court and beyond all reasonable doubt prosecute and convict that person or persons that are charged and subsequently indicted. Since August, this happened July 26th of last year. They were arrested on August 3rd after the president made that pronouncement. I remember vividly the police spokesperson, Moses Carter, said nobody filed a complaint. So they were sitting on their laurels until somebody who was on bed, had to file a complaint, or somebody who, by some connection, would have intervened and filed a complaint. Meanwhile, that was clearly shown on most, if not all, of the online media platforms that were there. And there were police officers who were there and could have arrested perpetrators of the act because they were in the commission of a crime. The police officers would have needed no arrest warrant whatsoever to arrest anybody that is perpetrating a crime. You don't need an arrest warrant to do that. Days passed. But I'm looking at why is it up to now we still haven't had a day in court? What are state prosecutors doing to bring this particular case to the dockets of the court? Because it is the prosecutors that will have to go and file for the case to be put on a docket. If they do not and they wait for the term of court stipulated to pass, that case will be thrown out. Was it all just a deliberate charade? That, okay, yes, these people did that. So we have now arrested and charged them. Now the matter is at the court. So now let the court do its work. Justice delayed is justice denied. What are the reasons? We want to know from the Ministry of Justice, what are the reasons up to present we haven't seen this case make its way to the court's docket? Is it that the prosecution filed for an injunction to get more time to go and view the evidence? What reason or reasons? And because no action has been taken, that is why Liberia is to a larger extent a country where people do not respect the laws. Because if I go and commit a crime or even a traffic violation, I know that I have somebody in the higher ups I can call, and that person is going to say, let a man go, man. So we don't respect our laws because the punishment aspect of our laws, they're not there. They're not effective. People rely on political association, societal association, whatever kind of link they have. So let the state tell us why up to present Sisulu has not gotten any sort of redress when it comes to the justice system. Why? Because that the state get a case. The case is in the state's hand. They have to go and file for the case to be brought to the book. So why? So if you look at all of what has happened, because alleged perpetrators and those charged have gone scot-free, even after The word watched all of what happened and we did. So they've now grown wings, even bigger wings. And my second question is, why haven't we heard anything from the CDC? Because the CDC was quick to come out and say there is no CDC COP when that happened. But this press statement has been issued. And we've not heard the president come up again to say this is a total attack on freedom of speech. Because if you're saying you want the government to shut down a radio station, why? We have our permits, we have everything. If the government saw something wrong, they wouldn't have granted us our permit. They wouldn't have done anything for us. They would have said, look, according to what you told us that you want to do with our airwaves, we've deemed it that you're not in line with the agreement. So hence, we have denied you your license or renewal of your license. So why is it the CDC cannot come out and outrightly debunk this and say this group also does not belong to our party, and we hereby condemn what they're saying? Because this has got the propensity for violence. People have been reaching out in large numbers. But we as a media institution, we are not going to directly or indirectly finance any protest or counter-protest that will in any way signal people wanting to support our institution. We can also not tell people not to exercise their constitutional rights of freedom of assembly. So we are not going to finance that. People have been reaching out in large numbers. That, look, we want to counter-protest, we want to stand for Spoon. You can stand if you want to. That's your right. But we are not going to be directly involved because we are not a political party and we are not going to do anything. So if the government sits there with all of the plotting and planning, we get all of this information. The first one was twatted because we got the information at the time and we brought it out. So then the government came out and said, oh, nothing like that. We're not planning on anything. People, yes. The same people that you sit in the midst with to plan, they reach back out to us. If you feel everybody that sit in a meeting with you to plan, they're on your side, they are not. So if the government will sit, if the PUL will sit and wait for something to happen, then they come and say, oh, we condemn, because the template is already there, just waiting to just change the name of the individual or the institution and say we condemn. Prevention is better than cure. We are in a space where if you've got any issue, whatever, take us to court. That's where matters are settled. Take us to court. If you feel injured in any way, take us to court. Take us to court. But you say you come in protest and you come in do violent thing and you come in do SYZ, it shows how weak you are. If you've got enough justification, go to court. Or are you afraid that you cannot tolerate opposing views? Everybody cannot be for the same side. And who does not like to listen to his wrong to be corrected, then that person is not ready to change anything at all. How many other stations champion the government's cause? We are a station that is for everybody. Today, if the CDC says they're having something, we go there to cover. We don't say no. We don't. So is it that you have thin skin that you cannot tolerate opposing views and you feel the best way is to silence them? That's food for thought. That is food for thought. So to the PUL, to the CJA, to the rest of the institutions that are supposed to protect journalists and media institutions, what are you waiting for? Didn't you get the press release? Are you waiting for something to happen before you come up and say, oh, we condemn? To the president, you got a copy of that release. You have eyes and ears everywhere. Remember when you told us that you know each and every one of our Facebook name and where we live and all of those things? You have all of the eyes and ears. You've heard and seen. Are you waiting for something to happen before we come out and condemn? At the end of the day, you are the captain of the team. If anything goes wrong with the team, you're the coach, not the captain, you're the coach. If anything goes wrong, you will be to blame. If everything goes right, you take the praises. So, Mr. Fagon, that is just where I stop. We are an independent media institution. We are open to diverse views. We're not like other institutions. If you carry the opposite, they sack you immediately. We welcome everybody. So there you have it, Mr. Fagon.
Well, thank you very much. I send you my pictures for the day. because we gave a breaking news that the instrument has been sent to the office of the president for his signature, the new drug law. But I want to remind the president that the friends you used to hang out with, reliable sources, informed us and provided pictorial evidence to which only on this network you will see when loaded up by Diamond. That was before the individuals involved in the $100 million drug case were arrested. Mr. President, I want you to know that you knew them very well. They were your friends. We have got lots of information that you cannot debate or argue with. They learn it in your country. They carry out their acts. They were arrested, and somehow we don't know what happened, but they were found not guilty. I would like for you to go ahead, Mr. President. I appeal to you on behalf of the Liberian people to pass into law the drug bill or law, whatever it is, that is on your decks, that has been forwarded to your decks. And to make this happen, I am showing you and your friends before the $100 million drug case. See how you negotiated with them, hung up with them, enjoy yourself with them. And then one day, they were caught in the $100 million drug bust. I will show you your pictures with them when you were hanging out with them. And then I will show you the picture when they were released from our justice system. Are you ready, Diamond?
Give me a couple of minutes. Let me upload the pictures.
Thank you. We don't say something here that we don't have evidence of. And that's why it's important we show you President Weah and our friends who were adjudged not guilty before the whole drug ordeal. And then we'll show you our friends being released from custody. That is President Weah. Take note of the gentleman right beside him. Take note of the other three guys with the white beard, but in the back, take note of the man in the back. That's President Weah and his buddies. Now let's go to after they were acquitted. Let's show them. There they are, right there getting ready to be set free from our justice system. That's the guy with his little black hair, and that's the guy standing right next to President Weah. We do not make mistake on this network. You saw firsthand our president hanging out with them. And that was before anybody knew that they were involved with drugs or that they had been charged or they had tampered with drugs. No, they were pure people. They hung up with the president. But then after they were caught, something happened and they disappeared and they were found not guilty. Will it be fair for us to say the president's friends were found out guilty? Will it be fair for people to ask the fact that he knew them before the $100 drug bust, the fact that they were his buddies? Look at him there with his buddies. Look at them. Look at his shirt. Look at the way they're dressed. Look at their happiness. What can you say now? Then all of a sudden, they go into our justice system for $100 million drug bust. And because they knew the president, see the smiles on their faces. And then they walk away. My question to you, for the next 5 minutes, Diamonds, we always ask our people, could the president friendship with them? How should I phrase it? Could their proximity to the president or their friendship with the president, did it have anything to do with the acquittal? Does the Liberian people believe that because and only because Mr. President knew them, they may have been set free because of that? Whatever the case be, whether it be the violence of the COP, or the escape of the 100 million, I think you have given food for thought to the COP. I have spoken on the drug issue and called on the president to sign. But I will say to you, let's hear from our people again. This is the only platform that allows our people watching or listening to say something because it is their station. Dama, over to you. Whatever you decide, I'll roll with you. Because you're wearing a designer
Definitely,
shirt today.
we'll go to the phone lines to address the two issues: the threat made against the Spoon Network by the CDC COP, though the CDC says they do not have any COP. Once you join the party to love and develop the country, not to destroy it. And the president said, once you love him and you want to act in his name or bear his banner or anything of that sort or use his image, you should use it for non-violent purposes. And the second question is with the pictures
People
that was
are
shown,
asking us to show the before and after picture. I'm sorry,
okay,
I'm not technologically savvy to put before and put after. But clearly you can see the before. That's your before photographs right on your screen. Take a look at it because we're going to the phone line. This is before anything about drug business came into being. This is before. Thank you, Dama. Dama, I say you are the best in the country and you want debate. Then bring the debate now. Go find somebody, let them come. Now, you can see them before the drug boss. See, President, we are smiling, laughing. The guy next to him who was arrested and tried is laughing. The other three next to them. Then you see the other white guy in the back. Everybody's smiling. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day someday. But then let's put in the after picture of them now being released by our police officers. There they are, friends of the president, acquitted of $100 million drug bust. Woo! But today, the drug law is before the president. Will he sign it? We're calling on the president to sign into law the drug law. Over to you, Diamond.
Okay, let's take this person here. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Damo, and let me say good evening to Falcon. This is Justin Bloomberg again. I'm phoning from the Rafia. This is where we continue to tell our people that this man who is sitting at the level of the presidency, our president is not a serious man. And that, look, when the president speaks, it's a policy. And it should not be taken lightly. This is why it is not just easy for a president to speak. Because when you speak, that's the final. As much as they will continue to linger around, it clearly show and demonstrate that Mr. Weah is in support of the existence of the group, be aware of every activity they continue. But any radio station should be closed down, then it should be going after Freedom efforts. Because Freedom FM, there's so many information, so many put out and show proof, some of the recording. It surely demonstrates that you people don't go above accusing people. You bring the effort. Now, why you just, the picture you are just demonstrated here? Mr. Macron, I can clearly tell you, there should not be anything screwed. Reason is, way back in 2005, the Frontier Africa wrote a story, clearly, the same picture. Mr. We are in the room of one of the best friends in the United States, one job best man. And the FBI went after the guy because he was linked, strongly linked with the CEO of drugs. So tell me now, if you had a man sitting down as president of our country, should it be any surprise that we see drugs coming in our country in millions?
Thank you.
All right, sir.
We continue to call our people in order to solve the drug problem. October 10, remove the men of our country. You will end the war against drugs. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for expressing your opinion. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yes, for security reason, I will not be able to call my name. But if our station be shut down, that station should be Freedom FM. If the government doesn't make, because it's a federal costa, if they make attempt to shut down Freedom FM, we'll move to Freedom FM and shut down Freedom FM. Then the word I put on him talk about that when I make this man president, one will come in the country, start from there. The Nigerians will move to member to defend themselves, and they continue to move to Cape Town and defend themselves. The Brazilian will move to Grand Basso, defend ourselves. And the people from Grand Crew will move to Grand Crew and defend ourselves.
Okay.
And we'll start with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Go ahead.
And good afternoon to your co-host. This is the voice of Abba Dekwana Yala and I phone in from district number 3 to be precise, Bala community. Let me appreciate two of you for the talking point this afternoon. The issue that I have to do with the job issues in our country, usually Fakon, you get to know that the proliferations of ghettos is alarming in our country. And then the youth are falling on a daily basis. Like you guys showing some photo over there where you see our president is in a photo. That show clearly that our president is in favor of those things are happening. He is in favor of the youth lab being damaged. He is in favor of it. So the issue I have to do with just honor President Weah regime, for me, I don't think that the war against just honor his regime will hold. And then the issue that I have to do with the CDC COP. The CDC COP, for time immemorial, the guys continue to say that they are a member of the CDC. So, in order for the ruling establishment to label those people to be evil, they will always distance themselves from those people, and the people continue to say it without fear or favor that they are part and parcel of the CDC. Then where are we? Where are we? So, thank you very much again. My name remains Abba Dekwana Yele. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yele. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you. Go ahead, please.
This is Tony Farley calling from Kawani, precisely government farm. Let me say good evening to my own big brother, Eugene Lami Betuma Fakon.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I will always telling people, George Weah, man. George Weah, we tell people that George Weah is a just man. How can you look at the director of Freeport and go make them a director or director? This guy is a wanted man to the United States of America. You look at the director of RIA. He's a wanted man for drug business in the United States of America. You not expect for drugs, you have to evolve into drug business. That's why our country just keep polluting with drugs. Every time our country get damaged with drug business in the country. Why are we hearing? If our sitting president can involve those people into drug business, all your friends are around him into the drug business. See what we hearing again today? This afternoon. That's why we decided to make up our mind coming to October to remove them from all this country and then select Joseph Yuma brother who will rescue this country to a better position. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for expressing your view. So we take two more callers from Liberia and then we can take some calls on the WhatsApp line. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Let me say good evening to Minister Fakon. Listen, Damo, this is Bobby Abu Meska. I joined the discussion from District 6 or SD Kuporo. Damo, listen. President Weah said to us, when they say group beat water Susuru, this is the president who said to the Liberian people that he did himself on this group. This group is not in CDT. This group, in fact, President Weah said, is not a man of violence. So why not? Listen, there will be no way who has in the people's station will be grown. Do you know how many people that water spoon are left for property when people never station came? Do you know how many people water spoon was there for their home? Do you know the relief that every person have brought to the ordinary masses? So President Weah, it does not need to be very deep engineer to his conscience. There's a man that always telling Liberian people different things and doing different things. If you say you are not enough about it, we expect President Weah to come up with water on the thing, say he have no group in CDC or the COP. Let him just say himself now, and the Liberian people will take actions
with this group. Because we will take action with him. But we will not allow the people station to be closed by this government. The station, they don't do nothing to the Liberian people. They don't do nothing to the government. The station only there to carry information and propagate the message. These are the same people who were wanted the station. They even brought the men with $50,000 because the men refused. The men refused the 50,000. When Ben Samuel and all wanted to accept the money, the men refused it. There's the same men that came from America and fed the president and fed many officials in this country. They're not now that want to fight Mr. Waterspoon. The Liberian people, we are standing by Mr. Waterspoon. We are there with everything that we have to need. We'll protect this station because the station is in the interest of the Liberian people. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your input. The last caller from Liberia, because today we have to finish on time. We have to end on time. Otherwise, we'll be billed for any extra minute. Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
You live. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Sir, you live. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Dama, my name is Mohammed M7 Jr. and I call you from my business station along the Tower Road.
Go ahead, Mohammed.
Thank you. The issue of drugs in this country is not something very strange. You know, if you elect hyenas to take care of goats and when the goats get consumed, you shouldn't wonder why. That is to say that drug business is, it is booming in Liberia because the president of the day, which is President Weah, is someone who has a very long history with drugs. If Honorable Fangon can retrospect, sometime around 2010 or 2011, President Weah, back then he was not a president. He went to visit Australia in America, and they were caught with drugs together, and the guy went to jail. And President Weah was free because there was too much information on him, selling drugs. So today, if you see drug business, taking over in the country, it is partly as a result of, the war that is being waged against those drugs cartel in places like the Caribbean, in Colombia, Uruguay, and other places. They are now still, looking at Africa as a safe haven.
Okay.
And having people like President Weah in Liberia who has a history with drugs, we will, open up to them because drugs got plenty of money. That is the reason why you see the building profusely on here because money, they too plenty and they can just spend it anyhow.
All
So
right.
that's my contribution.
Thank you. Let's go to the WhatsApp line quickly. Hello. Thank you for holding on. At least you were there for like 9 minutes. Let's hear you out, please.
Yes, I've been calling all morning time. Anyway, let me start making my point. And thank you to you, Mr. Fargo. You said something to a caller about respecting the office of the presidency. It is true. And you're a journalist, you're supposed to do that. But the respect is earned. If a man carry himself the way Weah does, it is very hard. The person that occupy that seat, if they carry himself the way he does, it's very hard for the citizen to respect him because he himself doesn't respect the citizen. That's number one. Look at what is going on with the whole drug issue. There's no way. That's my own. There's no way I can sit there. Like people want to be politically correct. Oh, there's no proof. That proof is right there. He knows everything that is going on. Okay, and the thing about lying to the Liberian people, he don't know the CDC, COP, whatever they call themselves, though wanting a belly fee, looking for little $5 of belly fee, so they're going, damaging their lives, and they think they're doing there for somebody. Like we always say that if he die, they know. That's the only way we can prove to the Liberian people that he don't know about it. All the threats making. A justice minister threatening a justice minister. Some people passing around threatening a justice minister. You hire a justice minister and he doesn't have a voice over the justice system, and you expect for people to respect that kind of seat right now, Diamond, is very hard to, even if you want to try. Okay? They're threatening closing school down. They just want. I don't know what the other guy named Abraham Wayne, whatever his name is. Those are the kind of people spilling propaganda lies. I was in Liberia in February, and you wouldn't even believe the test that I was in. They were playing that session. Everything this guy was saying on that session was like I was on another planet from what I know, from what I'm watching and seeing for myself. Those are the kind of something, and you talk about, this is a democracy. No, it's not a democracy. You want to run a dictatorship that what you want people in Russia and South Korea is what you want to create in that country. Because you're not supposed to, here in the United States, not everybody loves Biden. You should see people cussing Biden up and down. Biden has no right to tell anybody to shut because it's a freedom of speech. That's what it is. Everybody don't have to kiss your butt. Everybody don't have to love the president. Okay? So I don't know why is it in Liberia claims he's a man of peace of something. It's all lip service. He knows about everything that going on. It will not be going on if he doesn't know. He's the president. He controls those people. He knows it.
Okay.
Okay? And they think about people passing around talking about Eugene. Oh, why people should take Eugene seriously? I don't understand Liberian people as well. If you support a group, and then like the last time when Judge Bush, I supported the Republican, I voted for the Republican. I'm an independent. This year, last 2020, I voted for the Democrats. Because I know the Republican Party is not a serious something right now. They're all Trump buckets or whatever. You think, oh, because I voted for Judge Bush, I should go ahead. Why the hell I vote for Biden? If you see that the people, the person that the party that you voted for is not doing right, you have the right to switch. Every Liberian over there, I don't think everybody over there is voting for the same party, everything. And if it's a crime to switch, why are they asking all the Liberians that voted for CDC that made sure we are winning? Why are they asking those people to vote for their party then now? Since the other people are not allowed to switch something. So they need to stop nonsense. If you
okay, man, we have to leave it at that. We're already out of time. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
So, Mr. Fagon, we are out of time. We are out of time. Our production time has elapsed. So you can just do your parting comment in a minute so that we turn over the studio back to the station. Go ahead. Mr. Fagon, are you muted?
We're seeing on our screen that the trial has been postponed to the August term of court. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, and
yeah,
we just want to say thank you to all of those that are following us. I'm trying to get somebody to answer us, Damo, quickly. But anyways, thank you. You're seeing our Cash App, our Zelle, our mobile money number, whatever little you can contribute to the program to keep it up and running. It costs money. For all of you relaying us, we're doing our best to work with you. Let us know. And for those of you in the United States, don't say to yourself that, oh, $20 can't make it. I want to send $25. Every dime is appreciated. Everything can help with fuel, can help pay our bills at the station and for the program. But we want to say to President, we've shown your picture. Those people are your people. They're your friends. They were acquitted. But one thing, President, you must understand. Everywhere there has been a drug case, you cannot say you've not been around there or you've not been accused. The law is on your decks. Show us that you are a good man. Sign it into law. Don't let it sleep. Look at it well. Make sure there are no mistakes. You have a legal team. So again, to our Liberian people, we say thank you for following us. You voted overwhelmingly to trash the whole $65 million loan agreement. I concur with you, and I agree with you. Thank you, Diamond, for having me. Don't forget to tune in to Spoon tonight at 8 p.m. Dr. Francine Chinowit and others will be there waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fagon. So before we go, again, we have our friends in all places, and we just got an information from one of our trusted sources that a group in the CDC called Zebra, and their leader is called, let me get the actual message because I'm looking at the message now. Their leader is called PR5. They're planning to bomb the station using petrol bomb. That is what the person, one of our sources within their midst, has said. Again, we take it as it is, and we're saying it as it comes. We are here and will remain peaceful in the discharge of our duties. And again, Leadership, we're bringing this information out so that you within yourselves know what is going on. You still have time to call your people to order, because there have been others who were there in the same seats that you're occupying today, and where are they now? So that is my closing as well. So we've gotten a bomb threat, and we're saying it loud and clear. So Mr. Fagon, talk to you tomorrow. Spoon Talk comes on at 8 p.m. local time. This is how we love to say bye-bye, and thank you for watching.